Hello, everyone. It's Tammy Joya, and I'm an advocate for children with special needs. And today is our monthly training. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody is doing okay. And are you guys as hot as I am? I'm really hot. Um, it's been sweltering here in good old PA. I don't like it. I don't like sweating. I don't know what that's all about. It's just unbelievably hot here, but uh, so today, we're going to continue our conversation regarding transitional assessments. Hey, Barbara. And I'm going to tell you a few things that have been going on since the last time I saw you, which is crazy. The stuff that's going on is just nutty. I don't even understand it. But it's going on anyway, and I'm talking about with the schools. School hasn't even started yet in most places, and the shenanigans have begun. So today, what I'd like to talk to you about is, you guys hear, hey, Wendy, you guys hear, oh, thank you, Barbara. You guys hear a lot about transitional assessments or just assessments in general. And, sometimes I think parents think that getting an evaluation is like taking a math test, from your teacher. It's not. It's nothing like that. But I think you guys need to know what exactly for this specific training is what is a transitional assessment? What's the purpose? How do you use the information that you gather? How do you collect the data? What are you measuring? I don't think you guys know what this stuff is, and it's don't be ashamed or anything. It's because the schools don't want you to know. God forbid you should know what all of this means. And it goes directly to what the schools are supposed to be doing under the federal regulations under IDEA. So over the last month or two, because they gave me time to go and find out stuff, because, that's what I like to do. I like to investigate. I like to dig. So I found out a few things because I wasn't, 100% either. I knew a lot of it, but I didn't know like how the schools are held accountable. And oh God, including Mass Health, exactly. So now I do. I know how they're held accountable. I know, like in Massachusetts, for instance, because that's where a lot of my clients are for some strange reason. um, and I guess it's because that's my home state, but I haven't lived there in years. So it's kind of cool that I keep getting clients from there. I like it a lot. But anywho, we need to understand how all of this comes together in order to force the school districts to do what they're supposed to do for our kids. Now, a lot of you guys don't know that you can ask for a transitional assessment anytime you want. Okay, it's not just when the kid turns 14 or when the kid turns 16, and then every year you just keep making up things and saying, oh, yes, the kid did this. That's exactly how they say it. So I get a little angry because I don't like it. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to try to narrow it down a little bit more. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I'm also going to put up a video. I'm going to start doing that. I finally fixed everything where it works perfectly. So I'm going to do it now. And I hope to put up a video of between 8 and 10 minutes every week, if not more. The more I put them out there, the more you people have, the more people will come and listen to see what's going on, which is cool as far as kids with special needs, because I don't know how you guys are feeling right about now, but oh, thanks. Yes, I'm letting it out. I can't even stand it. I'm real proud of my gray hair, everybody. Real proud. I think it's cool. It's almost like I got a highlight. Highlight. That's funny. Anyway, so now instead of trying to hide it when I'm doing my shows, I'm letting it all out. Okay, girls. Don't be proud, because I earned every single one of these gray hairs. And let me tell you something. Each one of these gray hairs has a kid's name on it that I represented for the last 20 years. Each one of these gray hairs, your kids did this to me. So I'm proud. But anyway, thank you, Diane. So there's been a lot of things going on. The shenanigans are real. They're real. For instance. So I can't even fix it. I just don't even know where to start. So about 2 months ago, I filed a complaint against the school district. And I bet they do, Diane. So a couple of months ago, I filed a complaint against the school district because the mother had asked for an assessment, actually 3. And the school district just decided they weren't going to do it because I guess they got it like that. Well, they found out they didn't have it like that. The state came back and told them it was about a transitional assessment too. Well, this particular, actually, there was 2 things that happened, and I'm mixing up the stories, but the school decided that apparently they didn't have to do the transitional assessment, and they didn't have to invite this kid, and they didn't have to have a team meeting to decide whether or not, based on the transitional assessment, should there actually be goals and objectives, which is part of all of this, guys. You see, not only do they have to do the transitional assessment when you ask them to, they also have to have a team meeting after they have the findings. They actually have to have a team meeting to decide whether or not the results deem that your child should have goals and objectives or goals in their IEP, depending on what state you live in. You could have goals or goals and objectives, like in Massachusetts. Okay, so they didn't do that. And then they have to decide, well, if you have goals and objectives, are those goals and objectives inextricably linked to a particular support or service or equipment? The team has to make that decision. Okay. And a member of the team is the parent. That's you guys. Okay. So, and the kid. Okay. Because they never asked the kid anything. They didn't do the assessment. They didn't ask the kid anything. They didn't invite the kid to his own meeting. So they got in trouble. So now they have to do all of this crap. Okay. That they never wanted to do in the first place. Let me tell you guys something. The reason why these schools are having a difficult time and they refuse to do the transitional assessment, the way the transitional assessment is supposed to be done is because, like I said just a few minutes ago, it may mean that the district has to give your kid additional services, okay, additional supports. They might even have to write a goal or 2. God forbid. They should actually do their job, okay? So that's why they don't want to do it, and they definitely don't want to do it right. In Massachusetts, the schools, okay, what the schools are doing is if they do a transitional assessment, it's purely anecdotal. It's pure it's subjective. It's based on their opinion. There's nothing objective in the assessment. Once in a blue moon, they might do something, but rarely. I have not seen it. And there are several assessments which we're going to go into today, and I'm going to show you exactly where to go get them and tell them how to do it and everything. I've sent this to the school districts on numerous occasions. Okay. Soon as my kids turn 14 in Massachusetts, I've sent this over and over and over again. And it gives links to all of these assessments and everything. And a couple of them are free, which made me mad when I figured that out this week. Anyway. When she's 5, she's allowed to a team meeting. It doesn't matter. If your kid wants to go, she can go. There's nothing they can say. I wish they would, Diane. Not seriously. I wish they would. Okay. So they're just ding dongs. But anyway, you're absolutely right. She can. Your kid can go to a team meeting if your kid wants. It doesn't matter how old. Let me tell you what it means. Okay. This is what it means. It means if the school is mandated in Massachusetts, for instance, in Massachusetts, they have to start doing the transitional assessment at the age of 14, not 16. So they have to start earlier. That's what the law says. Okay. So at the age of 14, those wombats have to actually have a transitional assessment. They have to do a transitional assessment, and then they have to have a team meeting to discuss the results. And then they have to invite your kid to the team meeting once your kid turns 14 in Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, I think, and New York. Any state that has the 14-year-olds rather than relying on federal. Federal law says 16. They are mandated. Your kid, however, is never mandated to go to any meeting at any public school. They like to think they can make you do that. They can't. Call me. We'll straighten them out. Okay? So that's number one. So that was speaking directly to Diane. She's talking about her 5-year-old who's very smart going to a team meeting. They can't stop you. Absolutely not. Ever, ever, ever. So anyway, so as time is going on, I'm finding out that these schools are just airheads, and they just don't, seriously, they don't care. I'm going to get my sign. I'm going to put it behind me somewhere and just say, it just says, shh, no one cares. And it's so true. It's just so true. It's disgusting. And like I've been telling you guys for years. Oh, 14 in New Jersey too? Okay, cool. Hello, Michelle, girl. We got him. We got him, baby. I called you today. Okay, it's above the pay grade. Diane, stop. One of the idiots at the school where Diane's kid goes to told every time Diane asks her a question, she says above her pay grade. I'm gonna show her above her pay grade. If we're gonna get it on the oath, she's gonna get it. She's gonna explain in detail what that means under oath, so everybody can see it. Crazy. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do today. Okay. So now in Massachusetts, they are being forced to do it right. And here's the cool part, guys. The federal government has this thing called Indicator 13. It's all about transitional assessments. And what the states have to prove is that their school districts are doing the transitional assessment in a specific way. You see, the transitional assessment must not just identify academics and all of that stuff, IQ scores and all the core evaluations. No. You see, the transitional assessment is about the student's needs, the student's preferences, and the student's interests, which these wombats never ask these kids what they're in, any of that. None of it. They don't know. I got a little girl right now. She wants to go to college. These stupid idiots just told a parent, oh, no, we're not doing that this year. Really? Oh, yeah, that's the stupid school district that did a transitional assessment, and it's all this idiot's opinion. I don't even know what her credentials are. She gave me her opinion about my client. Really? It's about to hit the fan. I filed a complaint against them. It was so bad. The school district decided that they were going to file for a hearing against the parent because the parent filed a complaint against the school district regarding the transitional assessment. All hell is about to break loose, and these ding-dongs don't even know how it's going to hit the fan. They just don't even know. There's so many people involved. I'm telling you, it's going to be all bad. And the cool thing is I'm doing it in such a way. And by the way, I'm inviting everybody to go. Okay? The hearing officer is going to say something stupid. I'm going to file for a hearing against the hearing officer for violating the federal laws. She doesn't get to say who can come and observe, especially if it's a Zoom. Now, if they're going to come here and interfere, that's a whole different thing. But this is a Zoom hearing. She can mute everybody's mic, and she will. And they don't need any space. They don't need anything. So I don't know what they're going to do. Because if I have to, I'll set up another camera. I got 14 cameras. I will set up another camera behind me, and you guys will see everything that's going on. How about that? I'm already mad. Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is why I'm so angry all the time. I just want to choke somebody out so bad. My air conditioner, I might have to put on my fan in a minute. Excuse me, guys. So what the school districts think is that they don't need to ask your kid anything. Okay, your kid's not that important, apparently. I don't know what's going on. Wait a minute, guys. All right. It gets hot up here in the attic. I know that doesn't look like the attic, but I'm in the attic. Anyway, I love you too, Diane. So we're going to show them a thing or two. Okay, because I'm sick of this nonsense. It's all stupid, and now I got a plan that's going to knock them from. They're going to be crazy. They're going to be so mad. What the hell? They're going to be so mad when they figure out what I figured out. I'm telling you, it's all bad, and I can do it in every state. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing about their problems and their woes. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't care. Just like they don't care, I don't care either. I don't know why they think I have to care, but they do, because they're stupid. And I'm sorry, but I can call it like it is. They're stupid. And if they want to be stupid, that's fine, because they can be stupid all day long. Tammy's not stupid. I am not stupid. Oh no, it's just gonna get, if the hearings are short, I got smudged all over. The hearings are gonna be like, 1 day, because it's that easy. The hard part is putting the complaints together. But anyway, I digress. Another school district, this was the best one yet. So one of my parents last year asked for the school district to do the ADOS. Her kid is autistic, we think. No, not 3.85. It's lower than that, but that's good. I like that one. So listen. So the mother asked for the ADOS. So that's the autistic. Listen to the words. This is funny. It's called the ADOS, which is the Autistic Diagnostic Observational Schedule, and it helps to diagnose a child. If it's called the gold standard, it helps practitioners to determine whether or not a kid has autism, among other evaluations. So they decided they weren't even going to answer her. So we filed a complaint. So they told the state that the reason why they didn't do it, before we filed a complaint, they told the parent that the reason why they didn't do it was because of COVID-19. Sorry, that's my COVID eye. Every time I hear that from a school, my eye does that. Okay, so now I'm mad because that's stupid. So then I said, no. So I sent them stuff. We went back and forth. And then they said the reason why they told us, because now I filed a complaint. So then we had a lot of stuff to back up our complaint, including the law, a lot of case law, a lot of stuff. So we filed a complaint, and their response was they couldn't find anybody to do it. They had actually told the mother if she finds somebody to do it, then they'll pay. That's not the parent's job. What they were trying to do is get out of it. Bite me. You're doing it. You're doing it now, because if the parent goes and finds it, then that's the parent's independent. Well, I didn't want to do that. I want them to do their job, guys. I know everybody is on the bandwagon for independent evaluation. First of all, sometimes it takes a long time for us to find somebody, okay? Then even when we find them, they bitch, okay? There's something going to be wrong with it. So why even go through that drama and just make them do their job, especially if they never did it before? If they didn't do this test, then they should do it. So we won. I filed a complaint. We won. The state comes back and says they did all of this stuff wrong. They have to do the ADOS. Okay. They have to do the test. So they went and found this BCBA who is in so much trouble right now. It makes my head hurt, because I keep thinking about all the money I had to spend in the same amount of money in the courses that I took is what a BCBA takes to go to get their certification. I didn't want the certification because I'm not want to work with no kids, individually. I don't want to do none of that. I just like the book work because I just want to make them do their job. So anyway, this fool who's going to find out just how stupid he is, he does the ADOS. Now, so I asked the school. Now, this is part of a transitional assessment because we first have to find out if the kid has autism. So anyway, we told the school tells us, okay, they found this guy. Okay, good. So I'm looking at this thing. I get the report finally, and it says ADOS. I'm like, ADOS, but there's the ADOS 2. ADOS gone. Bye-bye, Felicia. So I go do some research on the ADOS. ADOS has not been used since 2011. The ADOS 2 came out in 2012. 2012. This fool has been using this. We found out. I asked this parent to find out from those idiots how long this man has been used. How long he's been. When did he get trained to do the ADOS? And when? How many times has he done this assessment? She said he's been doing it since 2000. He got trained in 2011 out of California, which is probably by the publisher of this assessment. Then he's done it 10 to 15 times since 2011. ADOS 2 came out in 2012. So long story short, I contacted WPS, which is the people that publish it. They're the ones that sell it. And they said that you can't buy the protocols for the ADOS anymore. The test is no good. This ding dong, and then their excuse, this was the best part. Because I went to the team meeting and I was livid. And I called them lazy and I told them that none of them are no good and we're done. This is a stupid meeting. So anyway, we find out that they just lost my train of thought. That he shouldn't even done that test. Okay, it's older than dirt. He doesn't know I know this. He's a BCBA. Part of his training is to make sure that everything that he uses is up to date. You can't use old assessments in any field. It's illegal. The reason why you can't do it, I asked for the protocols that they use. They won't give them to me. So I told him, I found out why you wouldn't give me the protocols. The reason why you didn't give me the protocols for the ADOS is because the ADOS doesn't exist anymore. You were supposed to do the ADOS too. Then the fool says in his report, this is the shenanigans that go on. None of this is good, you guys. None of this is good. Schools can't do this. They do it. They're not supposed to, and they can get in trouble for it. Don't let me find out. So this fool writes in his report, not only did he use an outdated assessment, it was purely anecdotal. We can't get the protocols. I find out from the company, they don't even sell this assessment anymore. And he says in his report that him and the school decided amongst themselves that they weren't going to use any of the students' records for him to write his old, outdated evaluation. It's in his report. This is what's going on. This is why I'm like, I've decided that I can, you guys, what I found out is the assessments that I can't do, that I cannot do legally, are psychological assessment. Anything that is deemed like the WISC-5 or the Wyatt, and even some of those I can do. Okay, most of them you can do online. It's amazing what's out there right now, and I really believe it's because of COVID-19. Because a lot of the providers that you guys use that are supposed to be giving your kids services, they've been approved to conduct teleservices so that these kids still get their services while the school districts are closed. So they've been approved by the insurance companies that they can submit their invoices and state that they provided it via, virtually. So because of that, a lot of these companies have decided, well, why don't we just go, full tilt and just put all of our assessments online. So you can do it on, like, for instance, the AFLS. The AFLS is the Assessment of Functional Living Skills. Wonderful assessment. I bought it. Okay. So I bought the books. So I love the assessment. I'm in the process of doing it on 2 kids, and I'm going to I think there's 2 more. There's 2 more of you guys out there somewhere. And I know who you are. There's at least 4 of them that I'm doing right now. And I just found out that I wasn't doing it wrong, but I was doing it the hard way. I was doing it manually when I actually purchased the online version, which means as soon as I put in the information, it's in there. I don't have to collect the data and then go into the computer and then put it into the system. Once it's in the system, it generates it. Once you do one of the tests, like, let me see. For instance, hope you can see this. Okay, you can. So once you do this one, okay, I have to turn it. Okay, once you do this book, this is one of the books. There's 6 books for the AFLS. Once you finish one, you go in and you hit score. calculates the whole thing for you. You don't have to go in and do anything. Okay. Then you add in all these comments, you add in other data and stuff, and then it writes the report for you. Do you know how mad I was when I found that out? The cool thing about the AFLs is anybody can do the AFLs. Mother, caregiver, doctors, parents, advocates. You know how mad I was when I found out this? Oh, yeah. Then I called them today, and they're like, Tammy, I specifically said, it says online AFL. That's what I bought. She said, yes, you did. I said, that means I can do everything online? She was like, oh, yeah. I said, what if I need the school to do a particular assessment or, a section of assessment? She said, oh, yeah, you could add assessors. I said, yeah, but can they get into my stuff? She said, absolutely not. You only send them what you want them to do. I said, oh, really? Because the AFLs is all about functional living skills. So like, for instance, like this one right here. Okay. This is vocational skills. Okay. So the vocational skills in here are things like job search, an interview, basic skills, co-worker relations, workplace safety. These are the things that are in the vocational book. So like if you have a kid, in your kid's IEP, because you did a transitional assessment, right? So now we have to teach the kid how to apply for a job, because a lot of them, when you go to a job nowadays, because, we're in the 21st century. Okay. So what they do is they'll say, like Dunkin' Donuts is famous for it. Dunkin' Donuts will say, now hiring, but then on the bottom it'll say apply online. A lot of our kids with disabilities don't know what that means. They don't know how to access that. How are they going to apply for the job if nobody told them that this is how you do it? This is what the school district is supposed to be teaching our kids. How to apply for a job it's independent living skills. But they don't want to do that because they're cray-cray. And they're lazy. The sad part is it doesn't even take that long. Does not take that long to do this assessment. Now it's even going to take me less time because now, because I'm cray too, I buy something I don't even know. One of the companies told me there's another one. It's called KC Life Skills. Okay. And it's basically about preferences and interests and stuff like it's free. Okay. And you just go in and give your kid the test and then you print it out. You actually print out a report. Oh, I can't wait. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what's coming down the pike. Okay. Because I got all of this information and I'm using it with all of my clients and I don't care anymore. I don't know what they're going to do and I don't care. What's going to be real bad is that I'm going to find out that the state, under it, this thing called Indicator 13 for transitional assessments, the state is supposed to be monitoring the public school system to make sure that they're doing this. They're not doing any of this at all. And they think they can get away with it. Now, I'm going to do the hearings. But my goal is to collect the data from all of the hearings in one spot. And now that we have, PDF files, because we got to do everything via Zoom, you know how easy this is going to be to file with the Office of Inspector General against every single one of these school districts and the state for not doing this? Are you kidding me? They're biased. Yep, they are. Michelle, front row seat, please. Exactly, girl. You're going to be in there too, so I don't know what you're talking about. You do. You have your own ticket. You're getting in free. There's no seat for you. You're up front. You're right in there. They're screwed, okay? It's all bad for them, okay? So let me explain to you guys something. Okay. I'm going to share a screen with you so you guys can see. Okay. Let me see. Oh, duh. Okay. So this thing right here, this is the thing that I was telling you about. This is free. Okay. The feds, OSAP. Let me see if I can get it up here. No. OSAP. See that right there? See this right here? There, right there. Yeah. OSEP, Office of Special Education Programs, gave these people a grant to do this thing right here, age-appropriate transition toolkit, 4th edition. See it? You know why? Because they don't want to do it. But our kids with disabilities, okay, we have to train them to do everything, okay? Because if they could do it, then they wouldn't have a disability. Now would they? They could go get their own job, okay? So what is this, Tammy? You were working so hard, doing so much. Thank you guys with all these compliments. Okay, there it is. Thank you so much for those compliments. I love it. You have no idea. I just sit up here and just look for. I can't wait for winter so I can be up here 24/7. I love it. It's my office, my computers and stuff. So Diane says, "Can I reject the IEP for it being below my?" I need to get off. That's not nice. Yeah, pretty much that's what we're gonna do. What did you say? I need to get off, but I sent the emails and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, no problem. No, okay, listen, everybody. I want you guys to listen because Massachusetts has some little shenanigans that I don't like. And what they're doing is, if you reject the IEP, this is happening in other states too, but in Massachusetts specifically, if you reject the IEP in Massachusetts, some of the school districts are filing for hearings on the pretense that they want consent to override to stop you from rejecting the IEP. They're about to get served, though. We're going to put a stop to that nonsense real quick, okay? So don't reject the IEP because I found out from OSEP, the previous specialist monitoring Massachusetts, and I asked him that, do you have to reject the IEP to file a complaint? He said no. If there's something wrong with that IEP, you do not have to reject it. And the reason why he said that is because the law is clear. As soon as they write an IEP, it's effective immediately. It's an actual law. When is the IEP in effect? That's all you have to type in your browser. And that's what it'll tell you. The IEP is effective immediately. So in some states, they have it where you got to accept it, like in Massachusetts. You got to accept it. You can accept it in part. You can reject the whole thing. You can accept the IEP, but reject the placement. They got all kind of shenanigans going on. You know what? Okay. What they don't tell you is, which they're gonna end up testifying to this. I'm gonna make them. I keep telling Reese Ehrlichman, she's gonna make me file against the state, and then I'm gonna get the answers that I want. It's gonna be in writing, and then I'm gonna get them, sir. I'm gonna send them over to the Office of Inspector General to find out if this crap is legal. Okay. Having a hearing using taxpayer dollars, special ed money to have a bogus hearing. What they're doing is they're having a hearing. Okay. One of the laws to have a hearing. So let's say you reject the IEP, Diane, and the school districts file for a hearing. They file for a hearing because you rejected the IEP, and they're going to seek consent override. First of all, they can't get consent override because you rejected an IEP. That's number one. Okay. But they do it all the time. There's one law firm that does it every single time. Okay. Toomey and Hesse or whatever they're called with their names. I got their crap over here somewhere. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, Murphy, Hesse, Toomey, and Lehane. Okay, they do it all the time. Okay, and they've been getting away with it. And I've done everything and tell them I think they're in cahoots with the BSEA. You know, because I don't understand it. Nobody wants to tell me how they can do this because you have to cite a violation. It's not a violation in any state for a parent to reject an IEP, period. So if it's not a violation, then how are you filing for a hearing? Because according to the idea, you have, remember, I tell you guys this all the time. You have to, in order to file for a hearing, you got to cite a violation. If it's not a violation, then the hearing officer can't grant relief. If the hearing officer can't grant relief to either party because there was no violation, she can't do findings of facts and conclusions of law. Now, can she? That's her job, by the way. So if she can't do that, what the hell are we doing here? Because just because she says the IEP is okay, don't mean Jack Doodley squat. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They're all crazy. So what? The hearing officer says the IEP is appropriate. You still can't grant consent override to force the parent to accept the rejected IEP. The IEP the parent rejected is rejected. And the last accepted IEP is in place. But see, they don't do that. They're about to get busted, and they're going to tell me how this isn't compensatory services. It took me 2 years to figure this mess out. I'm so mad I can't stand it. Anyway, I went off the beaten path again. But yeah. So don't do it. Don't reject the IEP, because we can get them without doing that. But that includes life skills. For the AFOs, yes, it's everything. Wait, let me show you. So I showed you the independent living. Okay, that's one. There's 6 books. It's 6 books. And then there's vocational. Okay. This one you might not see because it's green. Okay, good. Community participation skills. Okay. Then we have school skills. All right. Basic living skills. And home skills. Okay. Now, do you see how thick this is? Okay, do you see? They don't want to do this because they're lazy. Okay, they don't want to know if your kid can do any of this stuff in this book because they already know. Okay, if you know your kid, just when you ask the kid the question, you know the answer already. You know the answer because you know your kid. And that's what it says in here, that people who know the kid have to help with these assessments. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm sending this over to the damn school. And what's going to happen is those wombats are going to tell me something stupid like, we don't have to do this. Oh, really? Really? You don't have to do it? Don't send nothing home to any of my clients. You do have to do it. Do you know how many times the hearing officers have gotten angry because my clients didn't fill out some paperwork that they wanted to? It's going on right now in New York because they're no good. They think there's a double standard. They can do it, but you can't. I'm putting a stop to it. Watch what I do. Everybody's coming. Yes, exactly. It's all one big warpath. Keep beating at that. Brrr. I love beating that drum. It's so much fun. They have no idea. If they only knew how happy they make me when they do this stupid shit, excuse my French, then they'd stop doing it. Because they have no idea. I sit down, I laugh, I tell everybody I know. I'm going to start naming names. When these people all work for the public school system. They get paid by our tax dollars. There's no reason why I can't. For instance, the guy that did use the old outdated ADOS, his name is Mr. Dilly. Dilly. Yeah. They're going to get told on. I'm telling mommy. That's what I'm doing. I'm the mommy. Yeah, I'm a dear. Anyway. Okay, so let's look at this because this is better on. Let me see if I can do it another way. Okay, there. Okay, so this is the age appropriate. Now, like I said, I've sent this to these school districts so many times, it's disgusting. Okay, so this is a really cool book. All right, it has 64 pages. It has chock full of information. It has links, tells you a whole bunch of stuff. It tells you why you need it, tells you what for, how come, and when it's supposed to happen. It tells you everything, okay? It's a real easy read, too. It's not like it's real hard to read. So here it is right here. Here's the first question. There it is. How easy is that? What's a transitional assessment? Why conduct one? How do I select the instruments and methods? Yada, yada, yada. Everything, guys, is in here. All of it. Okay? And they have links to all of this. All right? It's all in here. I can't even believe that they don't use this. It's because they're no good. They know if they do this, it's going to be bad for them. So I wanted to tell you guys, where is it? Okay, well, I'll go up here. So, what is a transitional assessment? So then at the top of the part, this part up here, they're talking about where it came from and all of that stuff and the purpose. Okay, they tell you how the test is and everything. Now, this is the part I want you guys to look at. See right here, it says the test consists of formal and informal assessments. Okay, now informal assessments may include interviews, okay, or questionnaires like, I'll show you guys, all right? It'll be interviews or questionnaires, not just any old questionnaire, okay? Direct observations of the kid, anecdotal records, that's subjective records, okay? Stuff that they have on the kid in school, okay? Environmental or situational analysis. That's like a functional behavioral assessment, okay? Curriculum-based assessments, interest inventories. They never do this. Interest inventories is what I'm going to show you on that, okay? And where to get that. A preference assessment. What are the kids' preferences? Like one of my clients, she wants to go to college, okay? Now, she might not know what college is. To her, college is school, and that's where the older kids go. But just because you don't want to go for a degree just doesn't mean you can't go to college. So these wombats actually told my client, no, not this year. Why? We at least need to work on it. You need to figure out some things. They don't even want to do that part. No, you know what they want to do instead? They want to do community. You know what these idiots did? They told the mother that the kid has a summer program and it has community. All it says is community. It doesn't say, it says some sort of definition of what it's going to do. They took this kid off campus. The mother didn't even know the kid was off campus. They put her and another kid with a disability on a bus, a school bus. And the stupid teacher was driving behind that bus. To this day, we don't know why the hell the teacher did this. Why the kid had to go to Target, no less. Target. They never told the mother what the purpose was. Was she buying something? Was she going to count back change? I mean, what the hell was the purpose of her going there? Because what? I believe, and I put it in my complaint, the reason why the teacher wanted the kid to go to Target was so that she could pick up something at Target that she needed that day. She still hasn't told the mother what the hell she was doing there. But they think that's okay. There was no consent. It was like a field trip. And because the kid, they're trying to call it a transitional thing, part of their transitional program, which, by the way, up until a couple of days before the summer program ended, the mother didn't even know what that program consisted of. They never told the mother. You know why? Because what they want to do is wing it. That's what they want to do. They want to wing it. Oh, Dilly? He's an idiot. I'm telling you, I'm taking him down. He's not going to have his license. I'm telling you. If that man has his license, it's going to be on a limited basis. When I get done with him, he's just dead duck. He's a dead duck. I'm telling you. Because there are people that are going to be looking at him going, what? Do you know there's an ABA thing in Massachusetts too? I'm putting his name right out there so everybody can see it. Stupid. Anyway, let me see. So in answer to your question, Wendy, yes, the AFOS includes the life skills. But if you just listen to what I just said, the AFOS covers every single one of those. Well, kind of, sort of. It covers the areas. Like it doesn't cover the inventories or the questionnaires but it helps narrow things down as to what the kid might do. Now, the preference assessments and the interest inventories, I'm going to show you where to get those too. Those aren't that hard. And like I said, I can do these assessments for a very small fee. All right. And I'm saying small. I don't know what these wombats charge the school district to do that raggedy piece of junk ADOS, but I'm telling you, these assessments don't cost that much to do. Okay. It just doesn't. So if you're interested in this, matter of fact, hey guys, I got a new website. I don't know if you guys saw it. The name of the website is need.spedanswers. Okay. Do you like need sped answers? So that's what it is. It's need.spedanswers.com. Check it out. And if you need any help with anything, just let me know. Okay. I'm on my own now, guys. So I don't want to go to work for nobody else. This is what I want to do with my life. So I need you guys to check out my YouTube channels, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do as much as I can for this. And later on in this, I will tell you guys what I am available to do for you. So, well, basically, let me just tell you now, the assessments the school district doesn't want to do, most of them I can do. Okay, I can do the CASEL, which is the comprehensive assessment of spoken language. There's one subtest in there none of the schools do, especially with kids with autism. And it's the subtest that has to do with pragmatic language. They refuse to do it because that's what that takes them over the top with language and the need for speech and language services. The whole, and that also goes to social skills, okay? Because the practical language piece, our kids don't have, okay? And we have to teach them, and they don't want to because they're lazy. So anyway, so then we have the, so that's the informal one. And then, where's the formal? I'm looking around here. Okay, here it is right here. Formal measures include adaptive behavior, which is like the BAS guys, you know, the BAS, and independent living skills assessments. So the AFLs is actually considered then to be a formal assessment, okay? An aptitude test, that's like the WISC-5. Interest assessments, that's like all of those things I was telling you about that are free, okay? Intelligence tests, that's the WISC-5. Aptitude tests are like the Wyatt or the Woodcock-Johnson. Aptitude, I don't know. They have aptitude, interest, intelligence, and achievement tests. I don't know why they have, basically those are all the same. The intelligence test is like the WISC-5, and the achievement tests are like the Wyatt or the Woodcock-Johnson. It's all about academics. And then see, they said it again, aptitude tests. Okay, there it is. And then you have personality or preference. Okay. So personality assessments could be like what's called the Rorschach. That's a personality assessment. And then the preference tests and career development measures or on-the-job training evaluations. Like, for instance, schools like Cardinal Cushing, they actually have programs in their school. Like one of my clients, she did on-the-job training. Okay, so when they did on-the-job training with her, they brought her to like a grocery store, and she had a coach with her, somebody from the school, Cardinal Cushing. She had a coach with her, so she went to the grocery store, and then she went to TJ Maxx or something like that, one of them stores, and then she went to a nursing home to learn how to fold beds and stuff. You know, I mean, fold sheets and pillowcases and make a bed, and then they also have a store and a restaurant on the Cardinal Cushing campus. So there's opportunities for these people to actually get on-the-job training, evaluation stuff. And there's other measures for self-determination. There's also a test for that. So those are formal assessments, and there's no reason why all of this can't be done. There's just no reason, okay? Now, okay, so then it breaks down what a formal assessment is, all right? So then we go down. I'm trying to get to the place where the assessments are. So these are the kinds of questions that you want to know. So you want to know where your kid, so your kid is 16 years old. The typical kid going to school, I don't know what you guys did when you guys were in school, but when I was in school and I wanted to go to college. So when I was in school, when I hit the 9th grade, I had to pick out my courses. I had a guidance counselor that helped me pick out the courses. The guidance counselor asked me, well, what do you want to do when you get out of school? I want to do this and this and this. And that's how they decided what courses I would take in high school to gear me towards that goal so that I could get into a college because I had the prerequisite courses. So it's the same thing for our kids, okay? The first thing we need to know is where is the student presently? Where is he? What can the kid do? Okay. Where is the student going? Is the student going to go to a day hab? Is the student going to go to trade school? Is he going to go work in a supermarket? Is he going to go to college? Okay. And if so, how does the student get there? Remember, I wanted to go to college. The school set up all my courses to help me get to when I graduated from high school, I had the prerequisite courses that I needed for that field that I wanted to go into in college. So it's the same thing for kids with disabilities. It's just a little bit different in what we're looking at for our kids, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes kids go to college who have disabilities. Kids with dyslexia go to college. And by the way, everybody, just so you know, all colleges have SPED directors. They're just SPED deans, special education deans. So all of the colleges have them. So if your kid has special needs and your kid's going to college, the first thing you have to do before your kid graduates from high school is you need to get, hey, Tony, you need to get an assessment. You need to get all of the assessments done 2 years prior to your kid graduating from high school. Everything, especially a neuropsych. You're going to need those assessments to get the services under the Americans with Disabilities Act. A lot of stuff you got to do when it comes to transition. This is all part of transition. Okay. So how does the student get there? How are we going to help this kid get to where the kid wants to go? Okay. Those are the questions you have to ask. So why conduct a transitional assessment? So here it is right here. To develop post-secondary goals and related transition services and annual goals and objectives for the transition component of the IEP. They don't do none of that. I just spoke to a woman in Massachusetts from the transition department. And she says they have to write goals, but they don't have to be measurable. I said, oh, really? She said, yes. I said, I agree. That's what the law says. However, let's say I have a kid who can't make a bologna sandwich and he's 20 years old. Physically, he can do it. Mentally, he can do it. Nobody taught him how to make a bologna sandwich. He needs what's called a task analysis, which is a step-by-step thing that we break down the skill. And then within a certain amount of time, you can say, go make a bologna sandwich, and he'll just get up and go make the damn sandwich. Okay? They don't want to do any of this. So I told the woman, I said, so if the team decided that we needed a goal because the kid doesn't know independent skills, independent living skills. He doesn't have it. Basic living skills. He doesn't have them. So one of the goals is to teach him how to cook. One of the things we're going to teach him how to do in the kitchen to make his lunch. We need to make him, he needs to know how to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're going to start with lunch. So would that mean then we need a goal in the IEP? She said yes. But the team has to decide, right? Yes. So there actually has to be a meeting to discuss this. Yes. I told her that didn't happen. She said, that's a problem. I said, okay, good. So let's say the kid needed a service to make that, or support services to make that goal happen. He needs a BCBA or he needs a 1-to-1 aid. Would that be discussed at the team meeting? She said yes. To make that goal happen, she said yes. Would that be a transition? She said yes. I said that did not happen. She said that's a problem. I said, so now I need to know what you're doing. What are you people doing at the Department of Education? Because it's my understanding you people are supposed to be monitoring these ding-dongs to make sure they're doing all this stuff. These IEPs look like poo-poo caca. A kid that's 20 years old that's been in a private program all of his career in school, and he still can't make a bologna sandwich. Unless the kid is in a hospital bed and can't talk. That's the only way that kid would not be able to make a bologna sandwich. I mean, the kid has to be so severe. And I don't represent any kids like that. I've never seen them that disabled that we couldn't teach them something. But you leave it up to these schools and our kids won't be able to walk and chew gum at the same time because they've decided what your kid can and cannot do. They're deciding what your kid's future is going to be. They're deciding that without any input from you, your kid, anybody. No assessments, nothing. I got something waiting for them. I got something for them. I got you. I got you guys. Okay. So the other one is to make instructional programming decisions. Isn't that what I just said? Exactly what I just said. How early can they? As soon as you want. Transition is everything. My niece is severe. She was little then. And at the time we didn't know. She was severely globally delayed. She had transitional services in her IEP all the time. Sometimes they call them integrated services. You can do them anytime you want. Okay? Anytime you want. It doesn't matter how old your kid is. You tell them you want a transitional assessment, and then you tell them what kind of transitional assessment you need. So if you want a transitional assessment, what you would do if your kid is, say you have a little kid, okay, the kid is 6 years old. The kid hasn't met any of his milestones, okay? So if your kid hasn't met any milestones, then you need to develop like home skills. What do you want the kid to know how to do? I mean, I can't remember the last time I was in this situation, but at a certain age, you should be able to teach your kid how to make a bed. You should be able to teach your kid how to put their clothes away, take off their shoes, put on their pants. How the home skills. Oh, let me do it this way. Let's look at this. This is the one on home skills. Let's see what it says. Because in the AFOs, it starts off really low, and then you build from there. It gets more difficult as it goes on. So, I don't understand. See, I can't. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's basic living skills. Oh, you know what else you could do? School skills. Let me check out this. I'm just trying to figure out how I would do this for a younger kid. Like, how old, Wendy? What age are you talking about? Well, okay, it would be. Okay, it would be basic living skills. Okay, so let's say, and now the cool thing about the AFOs, you don't have to do the whole set. 6 books. You can pick and choose which ones. Okay, 11. Oh God, yes, honey. You can do this one right here, which is basic living skills. Okay, so that would include like basic communication. Let me see what first one. Self-management. Okay. Also miss out on many opportunities to participate. Okay. I don't like that one. So one of the things would be basic communication. Okay. The learner's ability. So it measures the learner's ability to socially interact with others, which is linked to communication. Expressing wants and needs, preferences, making requests for reasonable accommodations to the environment, seeking help or information needed for problem solving are just some of the essential skills. So that's what this book addresses. That's one of them. Another assessment is, that's just a real quick thing. So another thing that you can do, Wendy, is dressing. Dressing skills are some of the essential skills required for personal independence. This section reviews the learner's ability to get dressed, manage a variety of fasteners, select clothing that is appropriate. So this is what it does, okay? So now this also, all of these assessments are inextricably linked to other assessments. So for instance, they talk about fasteners. That's OT. It's fine motor skills, okay? They talk about putting on clothes. That's, again, fine motor skills. How do you put on your coat? Kids have to put on coats and stuff at school. They have to put on their gloves. They have to put on their hats. They have to tie their shoes. They have to zip up their pants. They have to snap stuff. All of that's OT. And this book also gives us a look into what they can and cannot do. So if your kid needs OT skills or OT help, it should show up in this book. It'll show up in some of these assessments. It'll support the need for the OT. That's what assessments do, guys. All of them, if you're getting a good assessment, you know you have a good one when all of them start to come together like this, and they form the big picture for your kid. Okay? That's what they do. They form the big picture. Then you get a neuropsych, and it really forms a big picture. Okay? So, when you do stuff like the AFOs or the other life skills assessments, everything will go hand in hand. Okay, what you can't, if your kid is weak in the AFOs for buttoning clothes and all of that stuff, your kid's probably going to show up weak on the bot too. Okay, which is a assessment for fine and gross motor skills. Okay, toileting. Okay, so this one measures the ability for the learner to independently use the toilet limits the activities that the learner will be able to do, and decreases the overall extent to which the learner can access the community. Okay. Using the toilet at home that you then generalize to out in the public over somebody else's house, when you're catching a train, you go in there. All of these things are important. Okay. That's why this stuff, grooming. Okay. So in answer to your question, yes. Some of these assessments you can use for really, I think I saw and it said 4 years old. Starts at 4 into adulthood. Okay, into adulthood. Yeah, the schools like to make up their own criteria. They're full of it. Okay, they're full of it. The ABLEs are. They tried to tell. I've had parents tell me that the school district told them that the ABLEs are has a limit to a certain age, and I'm like, no. I mean, it's real easy to find out, guys. You just Google it. I'm telling you, go right to the manufacturer. You go right to the developer's page, and they tell you all the information you need to know. That's how I find out all the stuff I need to know. And I'm not telling you guys to go and do this. What you guys do is you call me. Oh, here's what I can tell you. I'm offering a new service, Advocate on Demand. Go check it out on my website. It's a monthly fee, reoccurring bill. You get all kinds of things. You get 4 hours a month of consultation with me, up to 4 hours a month of consultation with me. You get 2 team meetings, up to 2 hours. Okay, each meeting 1 hour apiece. So if you only have one meeting, we could do 2 hours for one meeting. You get, let me see, what else you get? You get recommendations. It's a whole bunch of stuff you get. Go check it out. It's really cool. They told me he was doing life skills in a Google slide. They're lying. It's a big fat lie. If you want, call me, okay? Each one of these assessments, I mean, if you do the whole set, it's cost more money. But if you just do a few or one, I can just score this, just this. And you'll have a report and you can give it to them and say, this is what you're lying about. Get that, okay? Get that. But I'm telling you guys, check out my Advocate on Demand. I'm telling you, it's really cool. I've been dying to do something like this, and I finally was able to do it. And I think it's going to be really helpful to a lot of parents. Okay, go check it out on my website. Need.special-sped-answers. Let me write it down here. I'm dumb. It's need.sped-answers. That's my website. Okay, so check that out and go to the subscription. It's called Advocate on Demand. It's really cool. You'll get a lot of information, I'm telling you. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with that error. I don't know what that is, but anyway, so yeah, they lie. But this is why you need this stuff, because it needs to be in your kid's IEP, and they do not like putting this stuff in the IEP. You have to prove that your kid needs it. Then you have to prove that because your kid needs it, your kid might need. We need to prove that it's got to be measurable. Anything that you can see is measurable. You can see the behavior. You can measure the behavior. In order to measure something, you have to be able to see it happening. Okay? So, you need to be able to include the current level of performance related to the student's interests, preferences, and needs in the IEP. Okay? As your kid gets older, you start addressing the student. Well, you address the interests now, and you can address all of that, the interests and the preferences now. Okay? I just want you guys to know. And then here it is right here. So how do you select the instruments? And it tells you how you go about getting to these questions, getting the answers to these questions. What do I want to do in life and now and in the future? Okay. What are my unique talents and interests? What are they? The kid knows this stuff. Now, it could be playing video games. We don't know. It could be playing swords and Dungeons and we don't know. Because you know why we don't know? No, I bet you the parents know. But the school district doesn't know anything about this. If you ask them, they can't tell you any answers. What are some of life's demands that I can meet now? This is for hire, okay? What are the main barriers to getting what I want from school and my community? And what are my options in the school and community for preparing me for what I want to do now and in the future? Now, this is all high school stuff right here, okay? these are the questions that you don't want to do. How do I conduct an age-appropriate assessment? One, the assessor must incorporate assistive technology or accommodations that will allow an individual to demonstrate his or her abilities and potential. Right there. And here's all of that stuff. I'm trying to get to the, I want to get, okay. Here's this one. I'm going to see if it'll open it up. Okay, this is called the life skills ones. Okay, this one is, see, it says here, a number of websites offer transition assessments. Many of these sites use an interest test or self-reporting of perceived talents or needs. So you know what it's like? I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Have you ever gone to the what do you call unemployment centers or the unemployment office, and you're searching for a job there? Back in the day, they used to do it all the time because nobody had computers. So you would go there to look for a job. Okay, you can do it now online. And before you look for the job, they want to find out, well, what are you interested in, so we can line up your interests and your preferences with what's available. So that's what these assessments are. Okay, and they're for kids. Anybody that has to do this. Okay, so many of these sites use an interest or self. Okay, based on the responses, these sites generally offer initial information for free, but charge a fee for a full report. Okay, I tried to get one, but I didn't see how it was charging me for one of the ones I'm on. The sites offer convenience, but seldom have independent reviews or access to a technical manual. Notable exceptions, yada, yada, yada. But see, this is okay because it's exactly what it says it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just giving you an idea of what the person can do. I can't even go in. Let me see. It's not going to let me do it. I don't know why it does that. If you download, if you go online, you could, if this one's on my computer, that's why the links aren't working for some reason. But you can just, it's not working. But if you get the thing online, those links are live. If you get the document online, so that's one of them. Okay, these two right here are these two are free. There's one called ONET, and another one that used to be called, there it is, Career Cruising. It's now called Zello. Now, what I just found out about Career Cruising is I couldn't get it to offer it to my clients. But when I called the company, they said that most libraries and career centers, like unemployment offices, libraries, career off, and there was another place, offer it for free. You go into the library, you call the library and ask them if they have it, and then you can take it there. Okay. But what it is it's not called Career Cruising anymore. It's called Zello, Xello. Okay. So that's what we're doing. I don't know what this says. Hello. I just want to type this and see if this is going to come up. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right, he fixed it. Hello. So the Career Cruising is now called Zello, and that's Xello. And it's all about helping kids find what their interests are, find out what they might want to do when they leave school. And it's this whole thing. It's really cool. They this company, there's another company that actually does it. I think it's the same one, but I'm not sure. But there's another company is called Life Skills, KC Life Skills. And KC Life Skills offers all kinds of stuff for free regarding transitional assessments, because they get a grant from the government to do all of this stuff for free. It's really cool. So you guys can check that out too. But these are some of the things that I'm offering parents that I can get them connected with. Now, some of these things I've seen, like Bridges, I've seen that one done. Career Cruising, I actually had a client do that one. It was, I forgot what school, it was a collaborative that used it on one of my clients. And let me see, I'm going to find out one. See, they have everything too. So one of the things that you want to do is to find out about the SATs and college board tests and all of that stuff. That's part of transitioning. That's what these schools are supposed to be doing for your kid. Okay? They're not. So that's what I really wanted to show you guys, is what's available to you. And if you need any of this stuff done, you just give me a powwow, okay? Let me know. And then I can help you get there. I can help you go to where you need to go. Now, here's some sample instruments, okay? So I don't know what this is going to do. Okay. So here it is. This talks about the informal. Now it's going to get into the different types of assessments, okay? So they talk about, this one wouldn't come up at all. I don't know what's going on with this. But here's career preferences and dream sheets. It wouldn't turn on for me, but I don't know. Direct observations, it breaks it down. So it tells you, in the natural school setting, you know what this is? An FBA. What they're talking about, a direct observation is basically an FBA, natural school environment, employment, education, or training, or community setting. That's when I say I want my kid observed, I want him observed in all that. I want to know what my kid knows how to do, what he knows how to do. I want you to observe him in the natural school environment. Does he follow 1, 2, 3, 4-step directions? Is he staying on task? If not, what's the kid doing? What about in employment? Has the kid gone there yet? No. Education or training. What does a kid want to do when they leave school? These are the kinds of things we need to know about. Okay? And sometimes called situational. So they break it down and they tell you what all this stuff is. Now, here's the cool part. Okay, see this right here? It says task analysis. See that right there? That's what they're supposed to do for your kids, guys. A task analysis, like I told you before, is a breakdown of a particular skill. So like I said, if you want to teach your kid how to make a bologna sandwich, you break it down in small steps. And then on day 1, you come in and you teach the kid how to do it. There's a specific way you teach the kid how to do the skill. You show the kid how to do it, and then the kid does it. And then you show the next step, and then the kid does it. And there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do a task analysis. Okay. If the kid is severely disabled, then you do hand over hand. There's a lot of things. How to teach a kid how to wash his hand. A lot of you guys that have children with autism, you know what that hand over hand is, and physical, the physical part of it. You guys all know what that means. Well, that's part of a task analysis. Okay. So that's what they need to do. A job analysis survey. All of this stuff can be had. You guys can do this. If you guys can't, I can. I know how. I can do these assessments. Life-centered education. All of this information is in here. What I want you guys to do is, if you want this, I need you to ask me for it. I will post it on my website. I will put this link onto my YouTube channel so you guys can get this. And then just read it. Don't make any decisions. Just read it so you have an understanding of what's available. That's what we need to do. You need to know what's available for your kid, how we're going to do this, how you get this done, how do you make the school district do this. I know how to do it. I know how to. It's not hard. I don't care. I like doing it. So this is what you guys. This is what's available. Now, the school assessments you guys get all the time. Some of them are half baked. Some of them are good, but these are some of the school performance measures that you will need. Informal curriculum-based measures. Now, a lot of this stuff is needed because you need to find out, can your kid follow directions? Like if your kid is working at a grocery store, could your kid, if his boss came up to him and said, I need you to stack all of these cans, all of the labels have to be facing forward in these 3 rows. Would your kid be able to do that? That's why it's called on-the-job training. You need an evaluation for that. Okay. So you need to know like the on-task behaviors, assignment completion. This is very important when you're on the job. Okay. Because your kid needs to be able to finish a task. And if they can't, then they can't do that field. Or we need to find out what is he missing so that we can give that kid that service. And that goes in the IEP. Whether the school district likes it or not, that's where it's going. This book tells you a lot of things. These right here, Teach Transitional Assessment Profile, 2nd edition. I've heard of this one. Transition Planning Inventory. I think I've heard of that one. So there's lots of these things in here. And then it says Adult Learning Achievement Test. Here they are right here. It's the Kaufman, the Basic Achievement Test. The Basic Achievement skills inventory. The KT, that one's I know that one. A lot of my kids, the Peabody, the Stanford Achievement, there's the Wyatt, there's the Woodcock Johnson. Those are all achievement tests. Okay. And then they have, here it is right here, the adaptive scales, the behavior scales, the Brigance, life skills inventory, independent living skills. The Vineland, we see that all the time, guys. Okay. A lot of the things that we have done with our kids, we're already doing. We just have to compile them together with something like the AFLs or something with career inventories. And then you couple them together, then you can do a transitional assessment with your kid that includes, goals and objectives that make sense. The aptitude test about what your kid can do given the opportunity and aptitude. I'm getting tired, guys. Interest inventory. Here it is right here. OASIS and the ONET career these two right here are free. Well, this one's free. This one's not free. This one is free. Can't remember. I can't remember if there's anything else. This is what's available, guys. When you say you want it, when your kid hits 14 and you need a transitional assessment, this is your playbook. Okay? You don't need to get everything. You just need to get one of them. And the only reason why the AFLs isn't in there is because this was written years ago and they just keep updating it a little bit. But from what I'm looking at, there's really not that much updated in here. See, here's all of the intelligence tests. The Tony, the Peabody, the Kaufman, the Stanford Binet, the Wexler. These are all typical. Our kids get these a lot. Okay. The personality, this one right here is the one you need. Okay. This one, the 16 personality factors. I actually had that in school. That's pretty cool test. Okay. The 16 personality factors. That's a cool test. And then here's all of the inventories, on the job training. These are actually scales that the schools can use when they take your kid to a job. A lot of the companies in your area, if the school calls them up and says, look, I want to bring in this kid. I'm going to be with the kid the whole time. I want to know if I can do like an on-the-job training at your store. 9 times out of 10, the stores say yes. And then they go and do it. They do it all. I know TJ Maxx does it. I know a lot of nursing homes do it too. So your kid can learn on the job training, even though the public school may not have this thing going on like Cardinal Cushing does. Cardinal Cushing has a thing that has, what do you call it? They have a greenhouse, they have a restaurant, they have a grocery store. There's something else they have that's there that has to do, the greenhouse. I forgot what it is. There's another thing they have. Oh, chef. So you can become a chef and stuff. Oh yeah. Cardinal Cushing has a lot of stuff. So and a lot of the private schools, they have that. They have the vocational piece. And here's the self-determination assessments. So now this thing right here, TAG, which I contacted them. So they cost money, but they can help you not only do all of the assessments, but they help you write goals and objectives. And a lot of these, there's a lot of information in here that will help you write the goals and objectives. I pretty much know how to write the goals and objectives. That's not a problem for me. And if I have a problem, there's things that I can look up to find that stuff. So I'm not planning practices. So you see how much stuff this book has in it? I send these to the schools all the time, and they don't bother to even read it. I've used them as part of a hearing, as evidence. They don't care. Michigan. Oh, look. University of Massachusetts, Boston. This is the references. So the state knows about this book, but they don't care. So what my goal tonight was to let you know what's out there. That's what my goal was. I just wanted you guys to know what's available, the ages it'll help, what are some of the assessments that are available. and what the purpose of these assessments are. So, I hope that I gave you a better idea of what these assessments are. And it's really just a bunch of questions. And it's about getting your kid to do a certain task, and then on a scale from 0 to 4, did the kid actually do the whole thing? Did he do part of it? That's how it's scored. So this way, when you're all done, you'll know what your kid's current level of performance is. And, okay, see this right here? See down here? Okay. See, it says date of assessment, age, assessor. So when you do the online one, see, it says learner. So your kid has their own book, basically. And the date of assessment, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 4 times a year you can do this. So now what happens is when you do this, wait, let me show you. This is so cool. Friggin' love this. In the front of the book, before, now you can do it online. So for every assessment that your kid does, see? I don't know if you can see it. Wait, I'm trying to put it. Okay, each one, this book has all of those sections in it right there, okay? So for each one of these sections, you fill out the corresponding blocks. Now see, for it says classroom mechanics, okay? It has 2 or 4 rows. So this side right here, this is the first assessment. This is the first time you did it, and this is the second time you did it, okay? So when you do that, you keep doing them until you get all of these blocks all filled out, okay? So every time you do one, it'll come up and it'll be like a scale, okay? So depending on who, where your kid is at in this particular thing, maybe your kid, so because all of it's got different scores. So it could go anywhere from a 0 to a 4, okay? Depending on where your kid falls will determine which block to fill out. So then you know what you have to work on when you do this assessment. And most assessments are like this. When you get like the WISC 5 and they tell you where your kid is below average, well, that's pretty much what that does. The difference is this gives you a visual. You can get a visual of the WISC 5 and stuff too. They can tell you like with the bell curve and everything where your kid is on the grand scheme of things on the bell curve. The middle is where, that's good. And a little to the, I forgot which way. I think to the left is low and to the right is high, or vice versa. So on the bell curve for the WISC, then you know where your kid's present level of performance is in a particular area. That's what this does, okay? So that's what my goal was for you guys tonight, was just to give you information and let you know there's stuff out there that exists that the schools are not using deliberately because they know about all this stuff. Don't sleep on them. They don't want to do it. And the reason why they don't want to do it is because if they do it, then they have to follow through with everything. And God forbid that you know somebody or that you know what their obligation was. And it wasn't just to copy and paste the IEP goals into another form and call that a transition. It wasn't to write down some person in the school district's opinion about what your kid could do, can't do, whatever, and has no basis whatsoever in any fact finding that person did when they wrote that transitional assessment. There's more, is what I wanted you guys to understand. There's more to a transitional assessment than what these people are doing for your kid. There's a way more, okay? After they do the assessment, they have to have a team meeting. They have to have a team meeting to determine if what they found in the transitional assessment needs to be in the IEP. It doesn't need to be goals and objectives. The team makes that decision. And you're a part of that team. Your kid has to be a part of that team. If your kid is at the age of 14 in some states, but in every state by the age of 16, your kid has to be involved in this. If your kid's not, it's a huge violation. It's transition for him or her, not for them. This is what they don't want to understand, and this is what we have to tell you. This is what we have to force. If you guys know, now you have power. You don't have to know the intricacies of everything. You just it's like, for instance, hi, Paula. It's like, do you really, I know that if I stick my key in my car and I turn it and there's gas in the car, that car's going to go. I know if I put it in gear, it's going to do what I want it to do. Yes, it is, Paula. But I don't need to know how the pistons work in order to drive a car. You don't need to know all of the ins and outs. That's okay, Paula. I'm about ready to go off too. I'm so tired. But I'm going to do another one though. This hopefully tomorrow I'm doing a more in-depth. It's going to be between 8 and 10 minutes. And then you guys can take it and run with it, okay? It's going to be on this again, but it's going to be more detailed, but only like 8 to 10 minutes. This was like a huge overview, okay? So, giving you this information just gives you information. Now you got something to throw. They don't know how much you know. All you got to do is bluff. All you have to do is play the cards you're being dealt. Now you have some extra cards. Okay? Now you got a couple of aces. So use them. Okay? Bluff. You get stuck, call me. Advocate on demand, girls. Advocate on demand. Okay? Check out my website. All right? And let me know what you think about it, first of all. Check out my website. I'm still expanding on it because I have to put down all of the assessments that I can do, that I'm learning how to do. And because I'm learning that curve, you will be a beneficiary of me learning how to do these assessments. They're not that difficult to learn, but I'm gonna cut everybody a break because I'm doing this. Okay. So, and I'm not doing it just once. Okay. Like the schools are only doing these assessments one time. You're supposed to do them all the time. Okay. You like it? Thank you. Man, it was so hard to put that thing together. Well, it wasn't, but it's cool as hell. I liked it. It's kind of easy, but thanks. Let me see what else I'm going to tell you. So tomorrow, hopefully Friday, I'm going to upload my first really good 8 to 10 minute video. Okay. These are too long, but I like it if I do the lives because sometimes you guys have a lot of questions and sometimes you guys don't. And it might be because I haven't done this in a long time. It might be you just don't have any questions, but you do need to ask a lot of questions. It's okay. I'm good. And if you take me off the beaten path, that's fine. But obviously either I bored everybody to death or this was interesting and you guys didn't want to stop me. But I hope this helps you. And like I said, I can do these assessments. This is not difficult. And if you call me, set up an appointment, go to my website, you can set up an appointment and we can work it out. Okay. I'm ready to rock and roll, guys. I finished school. I'm good. I'm ready to work. So let's see what we can do with this. Okay. I want to thank you guys for coming. And for joining me tonight. It was so much fun. I love doing this and I'm going to have some more stories. And like I said, I'm in 2 hearings right now. There's probably going to be 2 more. So, oh, it was? Okay, good. I'm glad, Paula. As soon as, right now I got one that's supposed to be on the 13th and the 14th. That's probably going to be changed. So as soon as I do it, I got my first conference call tomorrow and I'm telling the hearing officer it's an open hearing. And I'm going to wait for her to tell me no so I can file against the state. Because I'm going to pull that complaint, postpone it, and then file against the state. And we're going to have an open hearing on that. So everybody can hear what the state has to say about that stuff. Okay? So, hey, kindred spirit, you made it, girl. Like you. So I will talk to you guys soon. I'm trying to figure out what's the good day of the month to do this. Like I said, I'm trying to do it every month. I kept my promise. So I'm trying to keep it, keep it rolling. So thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Hopefully right around the same time next month, but you'll definitely see my new videos. I love you guys. I'm going to get them, girl. I got it. So much fun. So tell me about your transitions. Let me know next time, okay? And make comments, like, and do a whole bunch of stuff on my channel. Okay. Bye, guys. Love you. Mwah. See you soon.